Hi, J. Frederick Smith here, Continental Realty of Jackson. We are heading in to 2462 Seabury Place in Jacksonville, Florida. This is a two-bedroom, I believe two-bath townhome in the Sandalwood neighborhood, which is on the east side of the St. Johns River, and it's between Beach Boulevard and Atlantic, right off of Alden, and pretty close to the FSCJ campus that's in this area. So let's just start with the kitchen since it's right here. Formica countertops and the drop-in double stainless steel sink with the very, kind of not fancy, but still okay faucet. This is the smallest double sink that you can get. Actually, they don't make them any smaller than this one for a double basin sink. This does not look like it has a garbage disposal. No garbage disposal here. Cabinets are maple with no pulls. And there's a good number of them for the size of the kitchen that it is. There is a little pass-through over the range, which is kind of fun. So, you can be cooking here and the plate just goes on out, just like at, one of those old style burger joints. Black appliances, the hot point with the coil burners and the hot point refrigerator, also black, which is working. I can feel the cold air coming out of the freezer. And it looks like it's in relatively good shape, although, well, maybe I would see about cleaning it a little bit better, but it's not bad. Okay. Drawers are solid maple. There's no plywood in this except for this bottom piece here. That wouldn't be solid. That's going to be plywood because it needs it for rigidity, and that's okay. But these are the old style drawer slides. It's not the soft close ones. The hinges are the hidden hinges for the cabinets. The shelves are press board, which is unfortunate, and they've been painted, and now the paint is coming off, and you can see what happens when that happens. Just a little shelf paper will resolve that problem. It doesn't take much. So these are definitely not the soft closed ones. Now the oven vent, there's a gap up here where the oven vent has fallen down. And basically what it needs is a fastener. That screw, this one right here, is broken. That's the reason why we're having this problem. And that just needs to come out and a new screw put in place, which is all of about maybe 10 cents and 5 minutes at most worth of work to sort that out. So pretty easy. Rest of the cabinets look just fine. Now, just take a quick peek under the sink here. So it's nice and clean. Looks like they put down some kind of an extra piece of material here for the shelf. Yeah, the reason why is that this guy goes bad all the time. Water leaks down, drips here, then this rots out. It's just pretty much every time. Now, the only thing about it is that they did not get any caulk along some of the seams, like here and then in the back. And then on this side, all this needs to have a bead of caulk put on that so that water does not flow off of the edge and down underneath that shelf. A bead of caulk or a tube of caulk and a caulking gun would cost you $10 if you wanted to do it yourself. If I'm helping you, all you need to do is ask, and it wouldn't cost you a nickel. Pretty free. All right, let's head into the main part of the house here. We're going to stay to the left this time, but first hit this little coat closet that's kind of right in the middle. Now, I think that there's a staircase here, and possibly this is under the stairs. I think that this is a 2-story, so we're going to look for that staircase here in just a minute. But anyway, I would say coat closet, but we've got shelves, so that makes it some kind of a utility closet. The shelves are only halfway, so that leaves you some room in the front for mop handles and broom handles, that kind of thing, vacuum cleaner. So utility closet is what that would be. I might pull those shelves out and put a bar so I have a place to hang my coats. The living room is nice and spacious with this LVP flooring that's in here. It looks pretty good. There is some dings. I mean, it's not new floor. There is some dings, but they're not bad. The worst one I see is this right here. And that could be filled in. You really don't even need to do that as long as you don't mind it being there. There's also a little paint on the floor in that corner, but that's okay. And then, well, okay, so I was mistaken. This is not a two-story. This is all one story. And look at all the light that comes in from those upper windows and how spacious this feels. It's really nice to have this giant vault in here. You could put the biggest Christmas tree that you could possibly find in this house right there if that's what you wanted to do, and it would fit, no problem. Lights over the kitchen are the flush mount dome style lights that are 15 bucks a piece. They give off plenty of light because it's just a regular light bulb, but you know, you could change those out for something a little nicer if you wanted. This, on this side, is the HVAC and the hot water tank. So the hot water tank is pretty dirty. Let me explain about that in just a minute. This weird little pipe that you see coming down here into the ground, this black one, this actually is the overflow for the air handler that's inside. And basically what happens is that if the air handler starts to condense a lot of water, then the water just flows out that pipe, down this one, through the black, and then out onto the ground. That's what that's all about. It looks like maybe this is a rat trap here. In any case, this looks really bad because what's happened is that underneath all that pipe, if you look back in there, that is where the filter for the air compressor, or the air handler goes. You can see actually the filter here, this little white strip along the bottom. The air comes in and flows across the top of the hot water tank and then up underneath and through that filter and into the air handler. That is why you've got all that dirt and dust buildup on the top of that guy, because the air is blowing through it and it's unfiltered. It's just going through these louvered doors and blowing all the dust and whatnot, sticking to the top of that guy, and then it gets filtered when it hits the air handler from the underside. Perfect. There's nothing you can do about that, and it wouldn't matter even if there was. Frankly, it's not that big of a deal. You just, if you don't like it to be dirty, you just have to wipe it down once a week or so. You just do it with your normal cleaning and you'll be fine. So anyway, we're hitting the hallway here. In the middle of the hallway is a big double door. I would bet this is where the laundry is at. Now let's just take a quick look and see. Yeah, okay, so here are your washer and dryer hookups. We don't actually have laundry, no washer dryer in here, but there are the hookups for them. And a little shelf also to store, your cleaning supplies or your laundry detergent, your fabric softener, your dryer sheets, whatever else you put on that little shelf there. The doors for this close up real nice and tight, exactly like they're supposed to, and they're hung correctly where they meet up almost exactly perfect, just like they're supposed to. So nicely done on the hanging of these doors. Those are not original. Those are a newer add-on to this house. Electric panel is a square D panel, and it looks just fine. Looks good. Older panel, I can tell because the main service disconnect is in the panel. Now they have to be outside at the meter. That's so the fire department can shut off the power to the house if they need to before going in. All right, so there's the front door, and if we went around the corner, there's this first little closet here. Around the corner is another closet, which is your linen closet. So once again, lots of shelving, lots of room for your sheets, blankets, washcloths, etc. Okay, so we're going to start at here and go down the hallway and hit the bedrooms. Bedroom number 1, this is at the front of the house. So as you can see, the window here goes out into the garage, and we looked at this window. which is the foggy one. The seal is broken on that window. And really, you know, for the best efficiency, that window should be replaced. I don't know what it would cost to have that done. I know what it would cost if I do it, but that's not something I could give in a video. If you're interested in this house though, I'm certainly happy to share that information with you when the time comes. So we've got a ceiling fan here, white blade, hangs down because we do have these vaults. So this room is still, even though it's not that big of a room, definitely feels more open and spacious than a room this size typically does. And this from corner to corner is about 12 feet and by about 14 feet with a small little closet over here with the double sliding doors, which slide nicely. They're in the track like they're supposed to be, but there is no closet bar or closet kit. So really, you know, you're gonna wanna get a bar and a shelf in here at the very least, or a closet kit. You could have a closet kit put in if you wanted to do that. But you need at least the bar and the shelf. And if somebody's putting the bar on the shelf, just make sure they put that down low enough that you can get stuff up on that top shelf without it being a problem. All right, let's check the one restroom. So we have a different kind of a floor here. Now we've got the original LVP that's got some texture and whatnot, this dark brown, and there has been some dings. You know, I told you there was problems with the floor. If you look, you know, there's some scratches and whatnot. That's just because this floor has been around for a long time, but there's a couple of dings like this one here. You can see where they've patched it with some brown patch. But in any case, what I wanted to show you is that they put in a different floor in the bathroom. And when they put this flooring down, they did not take the toilet up like they should have. You're supposed to take the toilet up and the baseboard up when you put down new floor in a bathroom, rather than just cutting it out and then caulking around the edges, because unfortunately, if you do that, then the water that runs out of that tub shower is going to work its way underneath your floors, and that could cause problems later. Now this is built on a slab, it's not built on wood, so it's really less of a problem, but there's still, potential issue there. And I just wanted to bring that to your attention, that's all. So we've got this little vanity here, single sink, with a nice little picture mirror and a triple vanity light. This is the, lower end one, triple vanity light up above. And then we've got this LVP flooring that is kind of a gray brownish color, contrasting with the brown of the rest of the house. Tile surround in the tub, but no shower door. Too bad, because a shower door just makes the shower that much less of a problem for your life later. I always tell people when I'm doing these videos, if you don't have a shower door in your shower and you buy the property that's in the video, you really want to have a shower door put in. Why? Because the shower door keeps water in much better than a curtain ever possibly could. And you really don't want to have water on the floor. That's all I'm going to say about it. There's so many things that can go wrong by having water coming out of the shower and down onto the floor. It can cause you nothing but trouble, okay? So that's something you really want to think about. Now, this particular shower has some other small issues as well. The tile work, when they did this, although they did a pretty good job of putting these tiles in, they didn't spend a lot of time doing it. It's laid correctly, but it's not done well. And we've got some grout problems now in the corner. As you can see here, we've got some cracking where the grout line is in the corner. And this other corner has got the same kind of issue, especially in this center here where this color band is at. That's easily fixed. Just like what we saw underneath the sink in the kitchen, a simple bead of caulk here in the corners will resolve that. Okay, that'll take care of that problem. The faucet is not properly connected to the wall. There is a gap, and that allows for water to escape out of the shower and down into the wall. that's definitely something that you want to have fixed. And that also could just be some caulk, would resolve that problem. Or a change of that faucet. You know, if you don't like the look of it, you change the faucet out and that could resolve it as well. There is a hook for a towel or maybe bathrobe or something kind of hanging over the toilet here. The toilet paper dispenser is straight across from the toilet. There is a single shower towel bar here also beside that. So that is the bathroom. So now let's head back out past the laundry and down into this back bedroom, which is definitely the master. It's much bigger than the other. Also has the white 5-blade ceiling fan with the lights. There is a closet here that's the double closet. But this one also has the shelf and the bar here at the correct height. That means that there's enough room between the shelf and the door jamb to get some pretty big stuff up on that shelf, which is really what you want. You need to be able to put stuff up there, or why even bother with it, okay? And the bar is high enough up that most of your lawn clothes are not going to have a problem. This closet is about 6 feet from the one side to the other, and maybe 30 inches deep. So that's deep enough, really, for all of your clothes to hang without having any trouble. A bunch of light sockets around the bedroom, which is nice. You have a smoke detector in here as well. A window that looks out the back into the backyard. And as you can see, we've got some fog in these windows too. And that fog, once again, just means that the seals in the windows are broken and that's letting in moisture. And really, you know, once again, the best thing that you can do is ignore it, because it's not going to make that much of a difference. This is a sliding window though. It slides open this way, okay? And just like a sliding glass door, this kind of a window can pose a security risk. And my recommendation is one of two possible things. The first is down at the bottom here, you put a stick, goes from that bottom corner to this bottom corner. Any stick or piece of wood or whatever will do. When that's in there, this window will not open. The nice thing about that is it's really easy to get that stick out if there's a fire or some problem, so you can get out of the house really simply, okay? That's the first thing. Now there's also a kind of a pin that you can buy. You can have a hole drilled right here in the bottom, or up here, right here at the top. And then you just slide the pin in, and the pin locks the window in place, because the pin goes through the upper part of the window that you don't see that's in that slide, or through the lower part that you don't see. And that locks the window in place, and then it cannot be opened. That is good too. The stick is cheap and easy. Just saying. It's cheap and easy. Use a stick. All right, vaulted ceilings. Once again, make this room feel nice and spacious. Now, I will say you can fit a king-size bed in here. It's gonna be tight, but you can definitely do it. Probably with the headboard against that wall or against this wall would be your best option, and that would give you room to get around the bed and also place at each end for some kind of an end table or, chest of drawers or something. All right, so last room is this walk-in closet. So we saw the little closet, but this also has a walk-in closet. There's no closet kit in here, and it really could use one. There is a single shelf and bar, so it doubles your closet space basically, and another place for an extra shelf up above on this side. But a closet kit would fill this up, and you would really be able to get good use of your space. Right now, you can't. This is about 5 feet across and about 6 feet deep, okay? With a light, thank you, and AC. And that's important, by the way, because without having the air recirculating through the closet as well as the rest of the house, this room, if it didn't have that AC, could get really humid. And just think about what that extra humidity would do, okay? You definitely want to have that AC blowing in your walk-in closet if possible. All right, so 2462 Seabury Lane. Seabury Place? I think that's what it is. Oh, we missed something. Look at this. In the hallway, we've got a pull down. Now this will be a ladder. Now I can't quite reach that because the ceiling here is 9 feet. I could reach it, but I'm not gonna do that. But up above here is a staircase that would go into your attic space. And in that attic space, you're gonna have tons of room for storing your, your holiday supplies. If you have a Christmas tree, that's not the fresh variety, you can put it up there, all your baubles, lights, whatnot, extra stuff, whatever it is, you're gonna have a ton of room up in there to store that. Okay, also, I didn't mention this, but there is a storage room out back. So there is a little door here, as you can see, that gives you, maybe another 50 cubic feet of storage in there too. Not a ton, but it's okay. The back, we didn't really talk about, but you've got some pavers on one side. You've got some just a little brick patio here with a light. It's a small little yard. You don't have a lot of maintenance. There's no grass, so no lawn mowing at all. But it could use some cleanup and some TLC. That's all I'm going to say about that. A couple of trees. Maybe you want them, maybe you don't. In any case, 2462 Seabury Place, Seabury Lane, something. I really like this condo. Or townhouse. I really love the high ceilings and how much light that comes into the living room. I really like that. The size of it for the price is good. I like the size of the master bedroom. Nice and big, especially once again with the vaults, and the vaults are everywhere. The only thing about the vaults though is that there's not a lot of insulation up there. And that means, in the summer, it's gonna get hotter, and in the winter, it's gonna get colder. And so that means it's probably gonna have an impact on your electricity bill, much more than the windows that have the problem in the house would cause, okay? The vaults are gonna cause more. Now, the good news is that that's probably 18 feet, maybe 20 feet up to that peak up there. And so there's a lot of air up by the ceiling that will get hot, but it's gonna take a long time for that air to come down. And also cold air goes down, so all of the AC will kind of settle in the room. With the hot up above, it might not be that much of a problem because of the volume of space that's up there. That's much, much more than most attics have as far as air volume goes, but just something to think about. That's really all that is. Okay, that's really all that is. So 2462 Seabury Place, one more time. I just wanted to let you know that I do appreciate this particular unit, and I think has a lot of potential. Not bad. The neighborhood is okay. I've seen worse, but it isn't a good part of Jacksonville, so maybe the road doesn't look 100% perfect, but I do know that the neighborhoods out here are better than what you'll find, in other parts of the city. So that is okay. All right. Well, I hope you liked the walkthrough here, and we're going to go ahead and head on out. Once again, J. Frederick Smith, Continental Realty of Jacks, and I'll see you at the next one.